So we've gotten a lot of exciting news over the past few days regarding the new Emotional Rescue update. We finally got a first look at our star path coming yesterday. We got to look at a lot of the new items. And of course, the day before that, we got to look at the realm and the characters. So in today's news from the Dreamlight Valley team, we got our first look at the quality of life improvements coming to Disney Dreamlight Valley, and they are very exciting to say the least. There are a lot of things in here I was not expecting in this update. This is quickly shaping up to be one of the more exciting free updates coming to the game. So we're just going to watch this video together. I'm going to pause it after they address each point. We'll briefly talk about it, but yeah, I just want to review this whole quality of life layout for us and start a little discussion about it. So with that, let's start the intro up here.
Emotional Rescue arrives August 20th, bringing with it some incredible new features and quality life improvements. Rotate away with the ability to now place fences diagonally. Perfect for decorating alongside your diagonally placed paths introduced in our last update, The Mysteries of Skull Rock.
So as far as this addition goes, this is nothing surprising. We were all expecting this. They teased this on Twitter. They posted an emoji of someone fencing, and then they posted diagonal arrows. And in the previous update, we just got diagonal pathing, so it kind of served a reason we'd be seeing this, so no big surprise here.
Place additional villager stalls throughout both our expansion passes, Disney Dreamlight Valley's A Rift in Time and Disney Dreamlight Valley The Storybook Vale, to create new, upgradable versions that will offer resources related to the valley in which they are situated.
Now, this is really exciting. The fact that we're going to be able to finally place like Moana's boat, Aladdin's gem stall, and hopefully Beast flower stall as well. I don't see why that wouldn't be included, but this is something the player base has been asking for a long time, and I wasn't expecting so much of these quality of life updates to be DLC focused, but it indeed appears that they are. So yeah, what I'm most excited about in regards to this would be Beast flower stall, because I don't really like how the flowers spawn in Storybook Vale. A lot of them end up in these little nooks and crannies where you can't pick them up with the ancient vacuums. And I don't feel like running to all these nooks and crannies every day to get my flowers. So being able to pick them up potentially from Beast Flower Stall could be really nice. Hopefully that will be one of the stalls included in this. I mean, it sounds like it will, but if it's not, I will be very sad. But I will at least be very happy about Moana's boat. Looks like we'll be able to get more Stiggy and Mudkippers off of this, which is great because you need that to craft things like snippet lures and a lot of other interesting items. And it's just a nice little addition here because we've all spent enough time in the Vale and maybe you don't want to run around fishing as much, so now you'll have this option. And as we also saw here on Aladdin's stall, we'll be able to get Vale items from his gem stall. So whereas the gem stall in the valley gives us things like onyx and topaz and rubies and all those things that commonly spawn in the valley, the stall here in Mythopia is giving us Storybook Vale themed items, or the Storybook Vale resources, I should say. Now, in reference to Tiana's stall always just kind of has assorted meals. But what's really interesting about this portion of the video is this appears to be Ancient's Landing, which is in the Rift in Time expansion. And on the right side of the screen here, that is Tiana's Palace. So I'm hoping that in this, I'm hoping this is just not the developers doing things we can't do. They're telling us we're going to be able to move stalls into these expansion areas, but if we can do everything they're doing in this video, then it serves to reason we'll be able to move buildings like Tiana's Palace or maybe even Daisy's Boutique into these DLC areas as well. So I'm really, really hoping that is the case. Again, there has been a lot of videos from the dev team where they've shown things that we can't do and never could do. Like a long time ago, in one of the Disney Star Path teaser videos, they actually had items placed around the well in the plaza. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, are we going to be able to place things in the plaza center? Because we can't decorate there, and they clearly decorated there in the video. And then that turned out to be something we can never do. It was just the devs, doing what they can do because they have full access to the game. They can do pretty much whatever they want in these videos, and that never came to fruition for us. So I'm hoping that that's not what this is. I'm really hoping I can move Tiana's Palace to the DLCs and even hopefully hide it in my main valley. If you keep up with my content, I have a very Mulan-centric valley, and I would love to be able to hide or move Scrooge's shop or Daisy's Boutique or Tiana's Palace to a different location if possible. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a possibility, but it would be pretty cool. I'd love to just move Scrooge's shop to a floating island or something, and, that way I can have my Eastern-themed valley without any of the Western-themed buildings, but It's okay. I can work through it. If not, it's not really that big of a deal, but it is rather interesting. And I think it is going to be cool to have some of these additional buildings within the DLC areas as well. Now, the next topic in the video is probably one of the things I am most excited for. So let's take a look.
Speaking of expansions, owners of Disney Dreamlight Valley A Rift in Time can expect the addition of 3 new floating islands in this update. Each island is themed after their biome counterpart and purchasable with Bist. We heard your feedback surrounding the cost on certain features.
So let's talk about new floating islands. So this is indeed very, very exciting for me. Now, I know we're not getting the floating islands for Storybook Vale just yet, but this should tell us that is definitely coming. I don't see why they would give us floating islands for Eternity Isle and not for Storybook Vale at some point. So they're probably just going to release them over this update and over the next update. So I'm expecting the next update to give us Storybook Vale floating islands. And as we saw here, it's going to cost Mist to unlock these Eternity Isle floating islands. So for the Storybook Vale floating islands, I'm going to guess they're going to cost Storybook Magic. It just makes sense. But I am very excited to be getting some more floating islands because, as you guys know, I'm a huge Dreamsnaps centric player. That's like my big focus in this game. It's my favorite thing about the game. And I love to keep my floating islands open because it's just nice to have these big, open, expansive areas in which I have no budget constraints, a lot of space to work with, very little obstructions, and just a lot of flexibility. I love using floating islands for my Dreamsnaps. And in the past, if I wanted to do something in the desert, or if I wanted to do something in the Wild Tangle, I would have to go into Eternity Isle and maybe tear up some of my builds just to make a Dreamsnap there. That's no longer going to be the case. I will have access to these biomes in floating island form, so I'm just beyond excited about this. This is one of my favorite things that's been mentioned in this update. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that, but let's go ahead and move on to the next topic.
We heard your feedback surrounding the cost on certain features. So, as of the Emotional Rescue update, we've made some changes to both upgradable chests to lower their cost and to the uncrafting station, changing the cost to uncraft from Dreamlight to Star Coins instead.
Now, this is pretty interesting, and I think we can all agree that the cost to upgrade small chest to medium and medium chest to large was absurdly high. Especially now that we can just craft large chest with no Dreamlight cost. There's the large marketplace chest. If you complete Aladdin's quests, you'll be able to craft the large marketplace chest. It holds just as much as one of the gold large storage boxes and requires no Dreamlight to craft. In addition to that, with Storybook Vale Part 2, we got some new furniture items in the shop, and there was a new large chest that you can buy with star coins, and it holds as much as a large chest as well and doesn't require any Dreamlight whatsoever. Now, I am glad that they've lowered the price, but I still feel like 4,000 Dreamlight is kind of high still, especially considering you don't really need to do this. You can buy large chests with star coins. You can craft large chests without Dreamlight. So I don't know. I feel like it should only cost like maybe 1,000 or 2,000, but I guess they just want us to have something to spend more Dreamlight on. If you don't like this, or if it's still too expensive in terms of Dreamlight cost, like I said, there's other alternatives you can employ. I mean, you could always just craft large marketplace chest, or you can buy some of the new large chests from the Scrooge shop, whatever you want to do, but it is nice that it's cheaper, so it's still a win. I just think it should be even less than this, because I don't know, 4,000 Dreamlight just to add 2 slots. You know, it's better than it was, but it's not that great still. Probably still not going to see a lot of play from a lot of players, but who knows? You know, I mean, maybe people really like the idea of a iron chest that's holding as much as a gold chest. I don't know. I mean, it's cool, I guess.
Lower their costs and to the uncrafting station.
Now, as far as the changes to the uncrafting station, this is perfect. I love this. This is great. The fact that it's no longer going to cost Dreamlight. The last update, they already lowered the cost of uncrafting things, but I think the devs are looking at the player data and they're seeing that even though they've lowered the cost of this feature, it's not really getting used a lot. And I think that's because a lot of people try to save their Dreamlight. They try to hoard their Dreamlight for new things coming to the game, or they just try to stack it up. And sometimes it's just better to go get more materials than it is to pay Dreamlight to break down materials. So switching it from Dreamlight to Star Coins, I think, is a good move. I think this is the right direction for uncrafting. Star Coins are very easy to get when it comes to gardening or even mining if you want to sell shiny gems. There's a lot of different ways to collect Star Coins very quickly. So I think now with this change, we're probably going to see uncrafting play a bigger role for a lot of different people.
From Dreamlight to Star Coins instead. Finally, we loved seeing the community response to our photo mode changes in our Wonderland Whimsy update and decided to go even further by introducing 2 brand new features. Unleash your creativity by adding some extra flair to your photos with motifs. Compatible with Dreamsnaps, you can now adorn your entries with any eligible motif you've collected. Lastly, introducing the photo gallery. You can now save up to 6 of your precious captured memories in your very own gallery. You can even use it to save multiple photos and decide which one to submit to Dreamsnaps challenges that week.
Now, this last portion is very exciting as well. I'd say it's close to being just as exciting as the floating island reveal. So let's talk about these things. We got 2 things to talk about. We'll start with motifs in Dreamsnaps. Anything that changes the camera functionality and adds more dynamics to the way we create our Dreamsnaps is a huge win for me. I love the idea of finally having a use for my motifs. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Touch of Magic, especially since it can't be used in Dreamsnaps. My playstyle is very, very, very Dreamsnaps centric. At the end of the day, Dreamsnaps is what keeps me coming back to the game every week. I know not everybody's as into it as I am, but a lot of people are, and my community really is. So I just absolutely love Dreamsnaps. The fact that we're going to be able to have this functionality with motifs, I'm finally happy to have my motifs. I've done all the Star Pass in the game, and many of them came with a bunch of motifs that I just simply never, ever use because I don't do much with Touch of Magic. I did when Daisy's Boutique came out. I made a few items. I had a little bit of fun with it, and then I just kind of forgot about it, and it's just kind of been abandoned by me, and a lot of the people I talk to say, yeah, I made like 3 Touch of Magic items, and then I never touched it again. So for those of us that aren't really super into Touch of Magic, but are really into Dreamsnaps, this is a huge win. And even if you like both, it's a huge win. Anything that allows you to add more flair or gives you more customization options to your photos, I don't see how that could be a negative thing at all. So I am just very excited about this, and I can't wait to see the super creative approaches people take with this new feature. I think people are going to find really fun and interesting ways to blend some of these motifs into their photos, and we may even see a Dreamsnap challenge that's all about adding motifs to the photo. I think that would be a really interesting challenge, a challenge that kind of highlights this new functionality or this new feature. And if there is a challenge like that where it's just directed towards having a lot of fun with motifs, I think people can come up with some pretty crazy shots utilizing a lot of the fun motifs we have. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on it. I'm really excited about this feature. Even if you just use one motif to put like a pirate compass in the corner of a pirate snap, I think that's really cool. But being able to blend certain motifs into your setting and making it feel like they're part of the scene is also a very, very fun possibility with this new mechanic. Now, as for the photo gallery, this is also very, very exciting. This is something I think a lot of us have been wanting for a long, long time. And if we look here in the menu, we can see a new little tab for the photo gallery. Now, I was kind of hoping that the photo gallery would be under the memories tab, because if it was, that would kind of solidify it for me that we will be able to add our photos to memory frames. I would love to see that, because imagine using memory frames and making your own Dreamsnaps gallery in your valley. Like, you take a bunch of photos, you get 6 really good Dreamsnaps, and you save them to your gallery, or you save them to your little photo gallery here, and then you go in your house, you build a room, you put up 6 memory frames, and you show off your favorite Dreamsnaps. I think that would be super cool. I'm not saying that won't happen. I think it would be super likely that it would be happening if this was under memories, and it still might be possible. I'll actually be surprised if that's not the direction they take this. I don't see why they would give us a photo gallery and not let us show off our photos in the valley, so let's hope that this is included with things like memory frames. I think it will be. I would just be willing to say it's 100% happening if it was under memories. It's still very likely. I'd say it's probably like a 90% chance that we will be able to put our photos into memory frames, and that's a really exciting component to this. Now, aside from that, the fact that we'll be able to submit for our Dreamsnap from this gallery, this changes a lot. So up until this update, anytime you're submitting a Dreamsnap, You can only keep one photo option at a time. So if you submit your snap and then you take another photo, the only way to like replace that is to completely erase the other one. Considering this new photo gallery is going to allow us to upload these photos directly to Dreamsnaps, for the first time, we'll be able to take multiple photos for a Dreamsnap and then look at them ourselves and choose which one we want to keep versus which one we don't. I do these weekly Dreamsnap reviews with my community every Monday and Tuesday, where people send their dream snaps to me via Discord and we talk about changes and different ways to elevate the dream snap. And it's a really, really fun stream that I absolutely love doing. But a lot of people will make changes to their snap and they'll have like 3 or 4 different versions. And then once I help them narrow down which one they want to do, they pretty much have to go back and recreate that snap. Now what they can do is they can take multiple snaps and say, okay, Senpai, which one of these do you think would do the best? And I'll give my thoughts and advice on it, and then they can make their decision there. At the end of the day, it's their dream snap, it's their choice. But it is cool that you'll be able to have multiple different photos to choose from when submitting your snap. I love this. I think this is a great direction for the photo gallery. But because of this, I probably will be keeping my photo gallery pretty open because we can only save 6 photos. So I'm probably going to use my gallery, at least half of it, for dream snaps exclusively. I might save some of my favorite photos, but I save every dream snap I do to a photo folder on my PC. So I'm not worried about having them all in the gallery, but I do like that I can submit from the gallery. So I want to keep at least half my gallery available for multiple shots so I can kind of choose my favorite.
We can't wait for all these changes to arrive in the Emotional Rescue update when it releases on August 20th. See you in the Valley.
So yeah, that's everything quality of life related that they revealed today. And who knows, there might be some other subtle little quality of life changes also being implemented that they have not shown yet. I don't know. There's usually 1 or 2 little things that we don't get to know about until the update actually drops. But just from what we're seeing here, I am really excited about this update. I was already pretty pumped because I really like Inside Out, and I think the story dynamic between joy and sadness is going to be very fun. The star path looks cool. The theme's not my absolute favorite, but some of the items from this star path do look very enticing. So I was kind of excited for the star path. I was pretty excited for Inside Out characters, but I am extremely excited about the quality of life changes coming from this update. I mean, I feel like they're really spoiling us here, adding stalls to the DLCs, getting 3 new floating islands, motifs and dream snaps, and a photo gallery. Well, and diagonal fencing too, but I feel like we already knew that was coming, so it's not quite as exciting. But yeah, really pumped about a lot that we've seen today. I'd love to know your thoughts. After seeing this, how are you feeling about the update? Are you even more excited? Did anything in here really surprise or shock you? And is there anything that wasn't added that you were hoping to see in this quality of life breakdown? As always, feel free to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you found today's video helpful, informative, or simply entertaining, please do me a very big favor and press that like button. Also, consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. On August 20th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be live the moment this update releases, and we'll be diving into everything. I can't wait to check out the new floating islands and the new motif in the camera mode options that we're going to have. So yeah, if you'd like to check all of that out with us, drop into the video description and swing by the Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the Emotional Rescue update.